Lincoln 103, 5 Lincoln 102, Lincoln 103 and 102.
Responding to 401 parking structure, section 1 boy.
Henry 8, Henry 9. Respond to gate 437 Bravo for your dignitary detail. 3K 911 unattended 400 lower level near carousel 4 black bag. GTA in progress 401 parking structure section 4 boy.
Responding to 401 parking structure, section 1 boy.
415 passenger onboard aircraft.
Control 2 Franklin en route.
484 suspect, is female, Hispanic, 28 years of age, blue jeans, no further.
Control 5 Frank 401 is en route.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Private Officer Beat. So glad that you are joining us on this Monday morning, bright and early, the 9th day of April, 2018, of course, and we are well into the month of April and spring, but it sure doesn't look that way in some areas, and we'll be talking about that here in a minute. You're listening to the Private Officer Beat Radio being broadcasted live from studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm your host, Rick McCann, founder and CEO of Private Officer International and Armor College. And we are extremely busy this time of year. And we'll be telling you more about that as well in this edition of the Private Officer Beat. We want to make sure that we acknowledge our sponsor, Body Armor USA. We've got what it takes to protect you, from body armor to protective clothing. Whether you're in the Sheriff's Department, the Corrections Department, law enforcement, private security, we have the right gear to protect you. Check us out online at Body Armor USA. Body Armor USA. And, of course, tell them that you're a member of Private Officer International, and they're going to give you a discount just for being a member. They are great friends, sponsors, and members of the Private Officer International Association, and we are just so glad that they are. Remember, folks, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to get your name out there to the right people in the right market at the right time for low monies, contact Help Desk at privateofficer.com, Help Desk at privateofficer.com. We offer an all-inclusive, a very inclusive program. For a low fee, you're going to not only get your radio spot ads, but you'll also get a display ad on our main website. You'll be featured in all of our social media platforms. And, of course, we'll send out an introduction to our members, letting them know that you are our latest sponsor. Contact us today at helpdesk at privateofficer.com or give us a call at area code 704-831-8109, 704-831-8109. We are so busy, as I said ago. Spring is really sprung. It's the time when we are probably, I don't know if it's the busiest time of the year for us, but it's very busy. After the winter months, that's when everyone starts getting active. They start getting involved in training. Clients and customers begin to call us. We have a lot of meetings, chapters, meetings and activities, events, nationwide training. Our memorial services will be coming up soon. We have the annual Private Officer Awards this month, which I'll tell you about here in a minute. Just so much activity, and don't miss out on any of it. I'm telling you, just don't miss out. If you are not already a member of Private Officer International It's very easy. Just go to our website at privateofficer.org, privateofficer.org. Join up there today. And be sure, while you're there on the website, to sign up for all of our breaking news, our newsletters, our training event announcements, officer down alerts, and so much more. Right there, sign up today at privateofficer.org. Like I said, this is the 14th, 15th annual Private Officer Awards, annual awards. This is an international event that we have sponsored since the beginning, and you can nominate your employee, your coworker, your employer, supervisor, friend, or even yourself for a number of awards. Now, there's no fee, and in fact, you don't even have to be a member. That's right. You do not have to be a member of POI to nominate yourself. This is wide open to anyone in the private security, campus security, retail, loss prevention, law enforcement, private police, private investigator, bail enforcement, anything related to public safety. We want to make sure that we're all inclusive. So go to our website today and nominate somebody for our 2018 Officer Awards. I believe the closing on that is actually the 22nd, and awards will be announced on April the 25th. So you do have a little bit of time. Be sure you get that information in. Now, if you can't find the link to go ahead and nominate somebody, just send an email to helpdesk@privateofficer.com, and they will send you the link. We want to make sure that everyone who deserves to be recognized is recognized during this 2018 Officer Award, annual award ceremony. So be sure to contact us today and nominate someone who either was involved in a life-saving incident, something that was very brave, or a dedicated officer who needs that special recognition. Be sure to include them in the nominations for the annual awards. If you have any questions, email helpdesk@privateofficer.com or give us a call at 704-831-8109. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Well, we have the weather. As I stated at the intro, we definitely have the weather. Although it's springtime, we have snow falling in some parts of the country. We have ice. We have a combination of snow, sleet, and rain. We have tornadoes. A number of states yesterday and today are under tornado watches and warnings. Some states have already had really severe weather, tornadoes where it's destroyed property, injured others. This is the time of year, April and early May, when we see tornadoes. It's an annual event. Unfortunately, a lot of strong storms kick up. Be sure that you're alert if you live Tornado Alley or part of the country where tornadoes are very frequent, or it's a familiar sight and sound. Be sure that you are prepared. Make sure you have a weather box, a weather radio, and that you are on top of all the watches and warnings in your area. Well, what is a watch, and what's the difference between a warning? A watch simply means that your area, the atmosphere, is cooking. It's receptive to that type of weather. It's a potential, a possibility. But a warning is almost always an indicator that a tornado has been spotted either on radar at the National Weather Service or local weather service, or it has been spotted by an individual. Most of the time, or many times, it's going to be law enforcement. So be sure a watch means conditions are right for a tornado. A warning means you better get to your safe place now because it's imminent. it's in the area. And tornadoes are very dangerous. They don't always make a straight line. They hop around. They could damage one side of the street and not the other. They can, come down and damage property, go back up, and then come back down 2 or 3 blocks later. And they are very unpredictable, very dangerous, and very strong. So be sure that you are on the lookout for that. We don't want anyone hurt. We definitely don't want you to be injured, your family. So please be cautious this time of year, especially if you're working in law enforcement, security, public safety, and you have to be outdoors. Again, you need to take precautions. Be careful, be alert, and play it safe at all times. We have a lot of information and news to share with you today. We have, unfortunately, tragic news. Officer down, numerous officers injured. Again, this time of year, things do pick up. Spring and summer, we have many spring breaks happening. Many beach areas are beginning to become busy. We have a lot more traveling happening on the roads, a lot more things happening in apartments and condominiums and hotels, and that's when security officers and private police get injured because they get involved in these situations. But we do have a lot of news and information to share with you. And also, in today's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about being a representative. Being a representative. What does that entail? What does it mean? And why it should be very important to you as an employee or a manager, supervisor, or even the owner of a company. You should definitely stay tuned for this segment. It's extremely important, and it might even be something you want to use in your orientations because being a representative is vitally important to your business. You're listening to the Private Officer Beat, and this is Monday, April the 9th, and I would be scrutinized and probably beaten up, to be honest, when we get off the air here. But I have to recognize 2 of my very close friends. Troy Anderson, happy birthday, Troy. Troy is 50. Yeah! He is a very dear friend, great guy. Of course, a longtime supporter of POI, and I'm just so glad to know him. Also today, we want to say happy birthday to Anna, another very close friend, supporter of POI, and one of our dear employees who's been around since the beginning. And so happy birthday to both of you. I hope that you have just a special day, and that your boss, whoever he might be, has even given you the day off to enjoy, to go do something very special. So happy birthday to both of you. If you want to have your birthdays, your anniversaries, your promotions or awards or other things noted here on the Private Officer Beat Radio, all that you have to do is contact us at helpdesk@privateofficer.com. helpdesk@privateofficer.com. We'll be glad to share that special information with our listeners. We're going to take a quick break, but when I come back, we've got a lot of news to share with you, a lot of information, some upcoming events, some information that you're not going to want to miss. And, of course, later on in the program, we're going to be talking about being a representative and how important it is to understand what that means and to take it serious. We're coming right back here on the Private Officer Beat. Don't go away. Give us 2 minutes, maybe a little bit less, and we'll be right back.
For some children, America isn't the land of promise. It's a place where every day is a struggle. Because today in America, 1 in 6 children lives below the poverty line. For these children, living in poverty means going without medicine, going without food, going without a warm home, or even a roof over your head. And that's life for nearly 13 million children of all races, all across America. Where will you draw the line and get involved? You can help these children and their families find a way out of poverty for good. And you can make a difference in more ways than you think. Will you help? Go to povertyusa.org today, because 1 in 6 children in poverty is one too many. A message from the Catholic Campaign for Human Development.
It's a very simple thing. It only takes 2 seconds. We all know we should do it. We all say we do it. But do we? About 35,000 people were killed in motor vehicle accidents last year. More than half were not wearing a seatbelt. A brother, a father, a mother, a best friend. Is it worth it? I lost a sister. Don't let it happen to you and your family. Tell the people you love to buckle up.
All right, welcome back to this edition of the Private Officer Beat Radio, and we are here with you on this Monday morning. Glad that you're joining us from wherever you might be. A lot of news and information during this segment to share with you. I do want to start off by inviting you to the Roswell, Georgia chapter meeting in the metropolitan Atlanta area. That'll be next Monday at 7 p.m. And we've got several things that we need to be talking about. And also going to be electing a couple of positions there. So be sure to come out and join us there at the Holiday Inn. And also contact us at helpdesk@privateofficer.com for any more information. If you live in the metro Atlanta area, you'll definitely want to be part of our growing chapter there. Nashville, Tennessee, if you are a resident or a member of POI, someplace in the metro Nashville area, we have scheduled quarterly meetings, chapter meetings there again in the Music City area. Be sure to contact us, helpdesk@privateofficer.com, and we'll send you the upcoming dates, as well as, again, thanks to a good friend of ours there, the Mount Juliet Police Department Chief. He is letting us use the facilities there at Police HQ for our meetings, as well as our annual Private Officer Memorial Service again this year. And we definitely want to appreciate and recognize Chief Hambrick for that generosity. He is a great friend to our chapter, ourselves, and we're blessed to have met that chief and to have this opportunity to work again with the Mount Juliet Police Department. So it's a great thing, and we're definitely appreciative. If you are in the Des Moines, Iowa area, be sure to contact us for a brand new chapter opening there. We'll send you all the particulars, but we're very excited to have a Midwestern chapter in Iowa as we continue to grow into the Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota area. Be sure to be part of it if you're not. Like I said earlier, if you're not a member of Private Officer International, you're definitely missing out because there's a lot happening. Go to our website today at privateofficer.org, O-R-G, and sign up today to become a member. We have several other brand new chapters opening this year, and if you are interested in opening a local chapter, you do have to be a POI member in good standing. You also have to be able to have a good resume and to be able to have some type of background in leadership. Contact us today, helpdesk@privateofficer.com for more information, or give us a call at 704-831-8109. Some other things happening right now. I'll tell you, this is going to be a busy year. It already has really been a very busy start to 2018, but this is going to be an even busier spring and summer, I can already tell. If you're in the area of Falls Church, Springfield, Virginia, on the 23rd of this month, we have a one-day course on use of force, and it's free to all current active security officers. No charge. Contact us, helpdesk@privateofficer.com. We're also holding a CEW, Controlled Electronic Weapon class, in Roanoke this month on the 29th and 30th. Contact us at helpdesk@privateofficer.com if you'd like to enroll there. We have a couple of really exciting announcements. Number one, we are beginning a brand new era in our training that we are very, very excited about. With all of the school shootings and concerns that many school systems cannot support an SRO program financially, they cannot afford to either initiate an SRO, school resource officer program, or extend it beyond what they have. So we are beginning next month a private security school academy. This is for school security officers. We will take it on the road to the school systems to train proprietary and contract security officers in a specialized curriculum. It's 80 hours plus first aid, CPR, and AED training. These security officers will have a really elite, current type training. It will be provided in cooperation with Private Officer International, Armor College, and the National School Security Association. And we are going to bring our specialized academy to the schools and to the contract security companies who might have school contracts. The problem with contract security companies is that there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of competitiveness, a lot of privacy issues where they don't want to share information, and unfortunately, it's part of the business. But when we're talking about protecting the lives of children, school staff, parents, and people that's on campus, we really need to step up our game and our training and put off all of this other nonsense, and let's get down to business. Let's follow a standardized curriculum. Let's give the security officers the training that they need above and beyond what the state requires. Let's prepare them for situations like what happened at Parkland High down in Florida and other schools throughout the country. We need to have them trained in a lot of different areas that contract security people just don't normally get trained in, and it's not standardized or recommended even or required by state statute. So we're putting together a private school security officer academy, and trust me, there's nothing else like it in the country. 3 things that we're going to be bringing to the program besides excellent training. We're going to be bringing a bunch of instructors who are highly qualified. Law enforcement, public safety people who have credentials every which way. We're bringing with us 2 different type of simulators. We're bringing with us scenario-based training, response training, that uses stress, lighting, sound effects. There's nothing else in the field like it currently for private security. If you have a contract with the school system and you need more information about our training, contact us, helpdesk@privateofficer.com. Helpdesk@privateofficer.com, or give us a call at 704-831-8109. We have another big, huge announcement. Starting in May, we will be offering accreditation for private security companies, security schools, training services, something that we've been working on for several years. It will be, again, nothing like it in the field. This is way beyond licensing or state requirements. Well, why do I need accreditation, you might say? And who are you to accreditate me? First, research accreditation, what it means, and then research accreditation agencies. And you'll find that accreditation is a standard. It's a voluntary standard that puts you a cut above the rest. Far above licensing, far above statutory requirements of training. This is going to put you way above other companies, because through our accreditation process, only the best of the best will become accredited. You'll have an opportunity to self-evaluate. Through this process, you'll have an opportunity to look at what you have in place for policies and procedures, paperwork, ways that you handle employee retention, employee violations, whether or not you have appeal processes, whether or not you're in compliance with state and federal laws, labor laws, workplace laws, licensing, insurance, so on and so forth. If you're one of these companies who don't care about being in compliance, don't care about being insured, then definitely, accreditation is going to be very hard for you to come by unless you are ready to step up to those standards. So next month, we'll be announcing the official date. Again, very reasonable fee. We have been working with a number of other accreditation agencies that accreditate fire, law enforcement, and other types of businesses. So we have compiled expert consultation and assistance in compiling this program, and you're definitely going to want to become part of it. And again, we'll be announcing more about that next month as we kick off the accreditation services. We're going to take one more break, well, maybe two more. When we come back, we want to talk about the breaking news, and we also want to talk about being a representative and how that's so important and what it involves and why you really need to be concerned about it. You're listening to the Private Officer Beat Radio, and we will be right back.
From coast to coast, cops are cracking down on seatbelt violations. Buckle up day and night or expect a ticket. It doesn't matter who you are or where you live, they'll be on the lookout. Cops write tickets to save lives. Click it for ticket.
Federal Aviation Administration wants you to fly your drone responsibly. Avoid flying your drone near other aircraft, especially near airports. Fly your drone below 400 feet. Always keep your drone in sight. If you see a safety issue involving drones, contact local law enforcement immediately. Fly smart. Fly safe. Have fun.
All right, welcome back to the Private Officer Beat Radio. We always have a lot of news to share with you, and of course today is not any different. Our news desk is 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We actually have a news operation going on. We have a staff member working the news and information sources. We have hundreds and actually thousands of news sources, news wires. We have press releases that come into us. We have contacts by the public, emails, and so forth. So we're constantly compiling and tracking news and information pertaining to our industry. And, of course, today is no different than any other time. We have a ton of news to share with you today. So let's go right on over to the news desk today and find out what's happening. In La Cruz, New Mexico, police there may soon be allowed to work as security officers. It seems like it's been against company policy or against agency policy, and police officers have not been able to work for security companies, hotels, shopping centers, and so forth to make a little extra money, and the police chief said they are looking at changing that as quickly as within the next few months. Police officers in New Mexico do not make a lot of money. In fact, police officers in general do not make a lot of money, so this is going to be an opportunity that will be new for them that they have not had in the past, and hopefully it will work out for the best. Now, La Cruz, New Mexico police, they only have about 177 police officers, so some people are concerned that this could actually take away from the necessary resources to police the city, but we'll follow this and let you know what happens. In Austin, Texas, a man there was arrested after masturbating in the emergency room. Police say security and patients of the facility at the South Austin Hospital spotted a man following a young girl around and actually taking his private parts out of his pants. Police have taken him into custody and charged him with several felonies. A woman on the way into the parking area at Columbia St. Mary's Hospital in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was attacked during a robbery, stabbed multiple times before Pasadena security was able to detain the suspect who had a prison record, a felony, and they have him in custody. In Salt Lake, Utah, a hotel security bouncer who worked at the nightclub has been charged with rape. Evidently, he had met a visitor on one of her trips. They exchanged phone numbers, and when she was back in town over the weekend, he told her that he would take her around and show her the hotel. Gregory I. Tannabone, 31, has been charged with rape, evidently, of this customer, and police are not saying much more about that case. In Maryland, at a juvenile holding facility, a detention center, a riot took place over the weekend. Police there from multiple agencies had to surround the facility, go in and subdue more than 20 juveniles who had not only created a disturbance but destroyed property, assaulted security and staff members, and they, as inmates, just took control of the place. And we see this from time to time at juvenile facilities. They're understaffed, their people are not armed, and definitely many juveniles at holding and juvenile facilities take advantage of this. Some sad news coming out of North Carolina today. In Burlington, North Carolina, in the Raleigh-Durham Triangle area in Burlington, a security officer working at a sweepstakes parlor, Gone Fishing Sweepstakes, was disarmed overnight, shot and killed during a robbery. 3 suspects fled. Several others shot. Police have not released the name of the security officer, but we do know that his gun was taken. I'm not sure if he was shot with his own firearm or if the 3 suspects also brought weapons, but we are following this closely, and we'll let you know. And as soon as we get information, we'll update this story. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Security officers responding to a disturbance between a man and a woman is being credited with a fairly large drug bust after they saw a large quantity of marijuana and drug paraphernalia in the room. Police responded to Bally's Hotel and Casino and assisted security with the arrest of Kevin Boyd of Philadelphia and Brandy Cyber, 34, of Little Egg Harbor. That's in New Jersey. Police have taken them into custody, and good job by those hotel security officers. The Yale University Police Department, a full-time law enforcement agency, last week protested during the prospective student and family visits during this time of year. Many families and the prospective students visit universities and colleges throughout the country to see if it's a good fit, maybe not. Police at the Yale University protested about their contracts and other employment issues. For whatever reason, they staged the protest here during a very important week at the university. Many call it unprofessional, but the police department's leader, the people who staged, the officers who staged the protest, said it was a necessary thing for them to do. In New York, Iceland, in the Long Island, a man has been arrested at a casino there for having a semi-automatic rifle there in the casino. Police say that he was acting suspicious. When security personnel responded, they found that he had the gun that he left on the floor. Police have taken. So in California, Cal OSHA, the state agency that is over the health, occupation, safety, similar to the federal OSHA, they have been drafting regulations to address workplace violence in all industries across the state. Now, Cal OSHA has led the way previously about workplace violence regulations and training, so I'm happy to hear about this. In fact, I'd like to see it in other states as well. It's very important that we do train our employees about workplace violence, how to see, how to be aware of it, how to respond to it, how to avoid it. Really, it's great training. It's an enhancement to any type of active shooter training that a company might have, and I think that every state should mandate that. It's a very important type of training in this day and age. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, a security officer responded to a bank there where he found a woman asleep within the bank. Police say that Zenobia Quanton Charles faces burglary charges after they found keys to the bank in her possession. Unknown how she got the keys or what her true intent was or why she was asleep in the bank, but nonetheless, she was taken into custody and charged with felony burglary. Police in several counties, including Orange and Volusia in Florida, are looking at alternative ways to provide security for schools. And school administrators also are looking at alternative ways since police agencies and sheriff's departments are very low on manpowers in many counties there in Florida, as well as across the country. They are looking at ways to use contract security services, but they want to beef up their training, and they're looking at alternative and optional training enhancements, and we're going to be following this. We see this happening in other states. They are beginning to use private security companies, but they are also requesting additional training beyond regulatory type training for those security officers. And I'm not sure at whose expense, but definitely something that needs to be considered. Most security regulatory agencies only mandate minimal training, and as a school security officer, replacing basically SROs, you definitely need enhanced additional training for sure. In Asheville, North Carolina, a Missions Hospital employee has been charged with grand theft of over $100,000. Police there say Megan Price Mintz, 32, stole $103,870.60 from the hospital. They're not laughing. They say it's a serious matter. 2 police officers have lost their lives in the last 72 hours. Corporal Dale Hallman in Saluda County, South Carolina, was killed in a car crash, and an off-duty police officer also killed in a car crash in Washington, D.C. A man who shot and killed a security officer during a robbery has been sentenced to 36 years to life. Sacramento, California, jurors sentenced Gilbert Earl Smith to serve a minimum of 36 years for the robbery and attempted murder of a Brinks security guard about 4 years ago at a Walmart. Police say that he was dressed as a construction worker with a mask, bandana, and sunglasses covering his face at the time of the robbery and shooting. We always have a lot of news, and in fact, if you would like to report news to us, all that you have to do at any time is go to either our social media or send us an email, helpdesk@privateofficer.com, helpdesk@privateofficer.com. We value our news hounds there across the country who send us news tips regularly, and you can be one of those news hounds, and we'll reward you with one of our private officer shirts or caps or other great merchandise. Contact us, helpdesk@privateofficer.com. We're going to take a quick break and move on over to our next segment where we want to talk about being a representative and what it entails and why it's an important aspect of your job to be a good representative. We'll be right back after a quick message.
Life is precious. Ask any of these people. They've been given a second chance at life through organ and tissue donation. But there are more than 84,000 Americans waiting for life-saving transplants. 17 people die every day waiting. I didn't know this until I lost my best friend, Lyric. She gave the gift of life to 5 people. That's why I've become an organ donor, too. One decision saves so many lives. Donate life.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Today we're talking about being a representative, one who represents another, being the face of the company. Remember, when people see you, you're a reflection of the business that you represent. You're a reflection of the company that employs you. So although they may not always see the company per se, they are seeing a representative, a facsimile of the company when they look at you. You are the brand. You are the product. You are the service. Everything that you do, everything that you say, the way that you dress, the way that you handle yourself, everything, every step that you take is a representation company who employs you. Not only is it a representation of the company who employs you, but it also represents your company. When people are looking at the security officer, the school safety officer, the church security team, the private police officer, they are looking at more than an individual. You see, a representative is a person or a thing that actually represents another. A representative is not an entity of themselves, but yet they are the person standing in for that business, for that entity. A typical example of a group, an entity, a company, the quality of your service, the type of demeanor, how you look, act, and dress, all is representative of the company. If they see somebody dressed in a sloppy manner, unpressed uniform, disarrayed, look like you just rolled out of bed, guess what? That's what they think the company is. That's what they think the client is. How you look, how you act, even how you smell is a representation of not only you, but of the business. Let me tell you that in the security industry, public safety business, we have to be very pressed, clean, orderly, sharp. We have to be as put together as possible because we represent not only the business and the client, we represent many times the law. We represent authority. If you don't look like you're a professional, you won't be treated like you're a professional. In the sales business, they say this: if you dress casually, then the company is too laid back. If you're a fast talker, the company is slick. If you're late for an appointment, for a meeting, for a job, the company is not dependable. If you're sloppy with your paperwork, the company is disorganized. If you make mistakes, the company doesn't supervise well. To the customers out there, to the clients, the company is you. We have to dress professionally. We have to talk professionally. We have to be on time for our assignments, and we should be 15 minutes early. We have to be organized with our paper. It's very important that with reports and documentations that we do, that everything is as neat and orderly, everything is detailed, that we're not sloppy, that we're not disorganized, that we're not unprofessional in any manner. And of course, we can all make mistakes, but it's important in this line of work that we're as accurate as possible. Not only because the customer sees you as the company, but because of liability, because the paperwork memorializes what we've seen and what we've done. If at any time we are lackadaisical in our paperwork, that can really hurt us in a civil or a criminal case, especially if we're prosecuting someone for a crime. Today, it is more important than ever to make sure that we are well organized from the way that we look, the way that we speak, the way that we do reports, the way that we act, the way that we carry ourselves. Because you are representing the company, the client, the industry. You know yourself. You've probably seen a security officer at a grocery store, at a shopping mall, at some business who looked like they didn't give a flip about what people thought about them. They had a uniform shirt and jeans, sneakers. They were untidy, unclean, and looked unprofessional. You probably even have spoken with coworkers who didn't speak very professionally, who didn't treat people very professionally, who didn't act very professional. These are all attributes of someone who doesn't really care and probably shouldn't be in the profession. Everything that you say and do, every aspect of your performance on the job represents the business, the client, the employer, and of course, yourself. Remember that today is just today. And if you're going to be in any profession for any length of time, whatever you do today will carry over tomorrow, next week, next year, and even beyond that. If you make mistakes, if you're a problem at work, if you're rude, if you're someone who's not organized, if you don't really much care about your job, then you really can't proceed and grow in the business, in the industry, in the profession, especially if you're someone who's looking to climb the ladder. If you're someone who's looking to go further, then you have to start right now creating that profile, creating that resume, so that when you do want to be promoted, when you do want to climb the ladder, when you do want to progress in this business, that when potential employers check your references, check your records, check your history, they hear nothing but good things about you. You might think what you do today won't affect you 10 years from now, but I have news for you. Having lived on this earth for many, many years now, I can tell you that everything you do from the time that you're born to the time that you die will follow you, will reflect upon who you are. Even if you've changed over the years, people will always remember the negative. Not always remember the good, but they'll always remember the bad about you. They'll remember how you acted, how you spoke, how you mistreated people, how you were on the job 10 years ago at XYZ company. References is very important in this business. Make sure that you live every day as a good representative of your employer, of your business, and yourself. This is going to conclude this episode of the Private Officer Beat. We hope that you've enjoyed the information, that you have taken something away from this program, and of course, we hope that you stay safe. As always, be blessed, and we will see you back here on the next episode of the Private Officer Beat.